Max Keiser's arrived in Dublin. I'm going to go to Max Keiser meetup.
Well, to tell you the truth, I wanted to just start talking because that's what I like to do. I like to talk. My name is Max Keiser. Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to thank Ireland because according to the Alexa rating for websites, Ireland is our #1 country. We're most highly rated in this country. And I want to thank Sean Fitzpatrick for that. Thank you, Sean, wherever you are. Barbados. Thanks again for returning this stamp to Crash JP Morgan by Silver Stamp, a silver coin, as part of this rebellion. And within 2 weeks, they sold $5 million worth of these coins around the world, 170,000 ounces. They're now going into production on another coin, and there are 4 mints around the world who are producing these silver coins to support the Silver Liberation Army, the SLA. Now, of course, I got the name, came to me naturally because I remember Patty Hearst in the Sudanese Liberation Army back in the 1970s. I don't know if I need to recall that, but she was an aristocrat who got co-opted by terrorists to rob banks, and I thought, yeah, that's for me. And so SLA came natural to this movement. And at the end of this presentation, I'm going to be giving away some of these, or we'll figure something out. And but here's what I wanted to do. To give you an idea what there's not any speakers. I don't know if someone said there'd be other speakers. I'm pretty much it. And what I wanted to do was to look at the newspaper and look at the news as it's reported in the Financial Times, look at the news as it's reported in the Times of London, the local Irish press, and get a sense of the propaganda, what I call the financial propaganda that has totally rotted the brain for analytical thinking so that one can make an intelligent decision about these, what I call banking terrorists or financial terrorists. And I don't use the term flippantly, I don't use it lightly, because when you think about it, what are these guys up to? And who are they? Who is a Lloyd Blankfein? Who is a Jamie Dimon? These are guys, first of all, they operate under an ideology, a corrupt ideology. Lloyd Blankfein said he believes he's doing God's work. The attitude on Wall Street is that they're doing God's work. The attitude in the banking sector is that they're above the law. The attitude in the banking sector is that, yeah, they've got 30% of the revenues of the economy. They've got all these massive taxable income. But look at all the parts of the economy they've crowded out. Look at all these companies that have left the business of car manufacturing or food manufacturing and got into financialization of their underlying business so that they're totally dependent upon the largesse of the central banking cartel, which gives them artificially cheap money at the expense of who? At the expense of us. Austerity measures? Why? Why? Food and energy prices skyrocketing? Why? Returns on investment income, pension accounts, near zero? Why? To subsidize this corrupt ideological group of financial terrorists. They're willing to blow themselves up and blow up their friends and family for a buck. They misquote Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations. They're fanatics, they're extremists, and they parse a few sentences here and there to legitimize what is essentially a scheme to defraud and bankrupt and to return this country and others to a state of medievalism, to neo-feudalism, serfs and lords. And this is obscene, and this can't really continue. And one country so far that's standing up to these terrorists is, of course, Iceland. has been mentioned as a case study. Let's hear it for Iceland. All right, so let me just look at, as I said, this is a newspaper, this is the press. If you deconstruct the press, I'm going to put my glasses on the table, their guts hanging out. Medical examiner's like, oh yeah, their femurs went through their brain and the car then crashed into the family and Horatio's there, I'm going to kill them. Somebody's going to get hurt. But they take it very casually. You see the guts, spilling out on the table. If you look at the Financial Times here, the guts of this fraud are right here in the paper every day. All right. Here's a hang up over naked short selling. This is in the paper. This is in the paper. Nobody questions this. Some EU countries are unhappy about planned severe restrictions. European Union legislation on short selling and naked thing that does not exist. If you're shorting a security, you're borrowing that security and you're selling it, and there's room for shorting securities because it's the natural counterpart to buying on margin, which is leverage buying. If you don't have a natural counterpart to that, which would be short selling, which by definition occurs in a margin account, there would be some asymmetry in the market, and the price discovery would be lopsided, and markets as we know them would not function as well. But naked short selling is a bank like a JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs or any of the other crooks and terrorists, and they sell into the marketplace, into the floor of the exchange, a security that does not exist. It has no CUSIP number. It has no basis of existence. It has no collateral. It's merely a fictitious in the mind of a quant sitting in the back room of a bank eating a cheeseburger and figuring out how to get laid that night. Unsuccessful again, but let's sell some more securities short naked. There's nothing absolutely to this sale. So the fact that counterfeiting is effectively legalized, condoned, and talked about openly in the Financial Times as well, the minority bloc feels that counterfeiting is bad. That's where the vulnerability is. I want to find something that I can win for real, not just win a few points, but I want to win the game. I want to get these guys gone.